You know the feeling, right? You've just signed up for a great new VoIP service like Vonage, expecting crystal clear calls and simple setup, only to be met with frustratingly poor call quality or maybe even calls dropping entirely. It's enough to make you want to throw your phone against the wall. If you've ever struggled to get your Vonage service running smoothly right out of the box, then this video is for you. I'm going to share the exact steps I took, the little tweaks and settings changes, that transformed my own flaky Vonage connection into a reliable, high-quality lifeline in less than an hour. We're going to look beyond the basic plug-it-in instructions and focus on the technical details that really make a difference, particularly around your network setup. Here, the router riddle, NAT and SIP ALG. The first and most critical area we need to address is your router. Most consumer routers are designed to handle standard internet traffic, but they can be surprisingly aggressive with voice over IP or VoIP traffic like the kind Vonage uses. Specifically, we're talking about two major culprits: NAT Network Address Translation and SIP ALG Session Initiation Protocol Application Layer Gateway. NAT is necessary, but sometimes your router's implementation of it can be too restrictive. However, the real troublemaker is often SIP ALG. SIP ALG is a feature intended to help VoIP work with NAT, but ironically, it frequently breaks the connection instead. It tries to inspect and modify the SIP signaling packets, and in the process, it introduces delays, incorrect IP information, and ultimately causes one-way audio or dropped calls. The fix: you need to log into your router's administrative interface and disable SIP ALG. This setting might be buried under Advanced Settings, Security, or Firewall Options. If you can't find SIP ALG, look for similar terms like VoIP pass-through and try disabling that as well. This single step fixed about 80% of my initial problems. Up arrow, prioritize the voice, quality of service, QoS. Once you've cleared the SIP ALG hurdle, the next step is ensuring that your voice traffic is getting priority over everything else, like streaming Netflix or a massive game download. We do this using quality of service or QoS settings. QoS allows you to classify different types of internet traffic and prioritize them. Since VoIP is extremely sensitive to latency and jitter, it needs to be at the front of the line. The fix: go back into your router settings and find the QoS section. You want to prioritize the traffic coming from your Vonage ATA, that's the small box Vonage provided you, or the specific device you're using for your service. If your router supports it, look for the option to apply a high priority to the SIP ports, which are typically UDP 5060 and sometimes UDP 5061. By giving your voice data this priority, you ensure that even during peak network usage, your calls remain clear and uninterrupted. Globe with Meridian's the DNS check. Stable connection. Finally, sometimes the problem isn't with your device or your router, but with the domain name system or DNS server your router is using. If your default DNS server is slow or unreliable, it can cause delays when your Vonage device is trying to connect to the Vonage servers, leading to frustrating startup issues or call connection delays. The fix: I bypassed my internet service provider's default DNS servers and switched to a faster, more reliable, and publicly available option. Good choices include Google's public DNS or Cloudflare's 1.1. You can usually change the DNS settings directly in your router under the WAN or Internet settings. After implementing these three steps, disabling SIP ALG, setting up QoS priority for the Vonage device, and switching to a reliable DNS, my Vonage service was instantly rock solid. No more garbled audio, no more random disconnects, just the clear, reliable VoIP service I expected. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.